A massive Ukrainian drone swarm seems to be inundating Russian targets across Crimea and Russia itself. Just what are they targeting and why now? I'm Paul, U.S. Army combat veteran. Let's talk about it. Okay, so I can show you some footage, but not others because of the YouTube policies right now. But we're going to try to cover all of these stories. So this is from the Kiev Independent, who Russia says they've downed over 100 drones amid reports of a massive attack on a wide array of oil and port facilities in Russia and occupied Ukraine. Now, what's interesting about this is, that the Kremlin is claiming to have downed over 100 air and naval drones. But what's always interesting when Russia makes these claims is they don't mention how many have gotten through. Yes, there is always in this conflict, there's always a pretty high attrition rate among drones. That's kind of the point of drones. But it's not about the drones that you lose. It's about the drones that make it through. And while Russia says there's no damage and no casualties, we already know that's not true, right? They supposedly saw about 50 drones in the Crimean Peninsula, another 50 over Krasnohar Krai, and 6 over Belgorod, and 1 found in Kursk Oblast. There's also, of course, been a naval attack on Black Sea Fleet facilities. And if true, this would, even if the Russian numbers are correct, this would be the largest drone attack by Ukraine throughout the entire war. So the Ukrainian military intelligence not confirming or denying that this attack happened yet, but we can see some of the footage here. Let's see if I can find it. Here is, this is, YouTube, don't demonetize me, please. This is footage from of the drones in transit over. See, there they are. Drones transiting on their way to oil and port facilities. And this is a translation in English. It says they don't end. There's been over 80 of them being a reference to the drones. All this flying towards the coast and the terminals, right? Air defenses are working. He says, oh, they're flying in a row, the swarm is flying. So it's trying to overwhelm the Russian air defenses, right? Which is pretty typical. You can see them flying in very quick succession, 20 and 15 minutes. This is crazy. The air defense, it's not working at all. It's been going on since 2:30 a.m. So it literally sounds like the strategy is to just burn out the air defense's munitions and try to let drones get through as they try to reload. Okay, I'm going to stop it right there because I can see later in the going forward in the video, there's actually footage of the destruction. And the viewer acknowledges that, man, this thing really hit the overpass. It hit a lot of the area. And you can see here's a different angle also from a port terminal depicting, again, a really brisk volume. Actually, this may be the same footage, or it may be footage shot in basically the same location. I can't really tell. But you can see, again, you're looking at the very quick succession, very quick turnaround. It's almost like, looks like maybe one of the other filmers of the video might have been one of these guys, but it's really interesting to see just how these drone swarms work themselves. Here's another one. Let's see if I can see this. I mean, look at the volume here. One that's very, very low. And it looks like the guy starts running actually, but you can see just you could confirm in these videos from the destruction that Russia, we know they're already lying, that some of these drones did make it through and take out the port facilities. And the targets seem to have been naval port facilities and oil facilities. And so this is all oil infrastructure targeting, because you know that Russia relies on its ports to get oil out and exported, right? It only has a few countries that Russia can really export oil to that's willing to buy it. Basically, India and China are the major markets. There's some rumors that some other countries are purchasing through shell companies because Russian oil is so discounted. But the problem is of course that you need to have functioning ports to make those shipments happen. And the fact that Ukraine is continually hitting these ports, again, with drones those are maybe $10,000 drones. And so they're taking out millions and millions in Russian oil exports that can't leave the country. And they are also targeting the refineries, meaning that they're diminishing both Russian output and Russia's ability to sell its output. So a really, really devastating strike, plus all the targets in Belgorod, likely indicate that there's also a military aspect to this targeting operation. To make matters even worse for Russian logistics, Zelensky's saying that Ukraine has enough artillery shells for the first time in 2 years. He goes, for the first time in years of war, not a single brigade is asking for more artillery shells. And that's been the case for the last 2 months, but there's still a lot of work to be done. The Czech initiative will continue. We're negotiating funding with all partners. That was yesterday. And it looks like it pays dividends, right? The only reason Russia was able to achieve any kind of success in the Kharkiv region was because Ukraine couldn't shoot artillery shells at them. And as soon as they got in range inside the country where Ukraine did know it could shoot artillery shells, things suddenly turned for the better. And now that the United States has been more clear that at least with their aid, as long as it's used defensively, you're fine. So that itself, I think, is a tremendously positive sign for Ukraine. Now, if you guys are looking for the boost to energy that you need, you know that I'm going to recommend Strike Gum, right? I developed this, worked with a manufacturer right here in the United States to produce something that I wish I had when I was in Afghanistan. 90 milligrams of caffeine in every single piece, as much as a Red Bull or an Amp Energy, 100 milligrams alpha GPC, sugar-free, fits in your pocket, just pop it in, chew it, and you'll feel the rush right away. It's a great alternative to the $4.50 energy drinks that they sell now, but even better, we now have a 5-pack, right? So you can get 25 pieces of gum, the equivalent of 25 energy drinks for $25. It's for sale on strikegum.com. We're working on getting it on Amazon, but if you want the individual packs or the entire trays, you can get those on Amazon. Be sure to check it out. Thanks to everybody that's ordered and left us 5-star reviews. And of course, a huge shout out to the Colonel Tier members at combatvetnews.com. Could not do this without you guys. And be sure to like the video and hit subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.